it seems like every single week there's always something new about Davante Adams. We're trading him to this team. There's rumors that he wants to get traded here and there. But honestly, I think now it's more real than ever. Now, according to Vinny B, news came out today that the Raiders are growing open to the idea of trading Davante Adams, and they are reaching out to teams to gauge interest. And I know that might come as a shock to a lot of people out there, but I feel like all of this didn't just happen overnight. A lot of things are brewing over the weeks, especially the past couple of weeks, and there was something definitely going on in the building that a lot of people did not know. I feel like this all kind of stemmed back to when we lost to the Carolina Panthers. AP came out in his presser frustrated and said that there were players making business decisions, and he said that the team will make their business decisions these next coming days. And we didn't really know much about it. Of course, a lot of people were speculating that it was Jack Jones, but I kind of felt like it wasn't only Jack Jones. I felt like there was one other player that he didn't want to say that, a lot of people would go crazy over. And that one player being Davante Adams. Of course, we know Davante Adams for the past couple of years, ever since he signed with the Raiders. This guy has been frustrated many times. He's shown his emotions after games, especially after big games. When we lost games, when he shoved that one photographer against the Chiefs, when we lost to the Lions, and he was just frustrated at Jimmy G, frustrated at this team, frustrated every single time we lose. And then of course we see the opposite of that. When we do have good days, he looks happy. And then when we lost to the Carolina Panthers, you seen him on the bench, same old Davante Adams, frustrated, just looking out into space. And we don't know what's going on in his mind, but we know that he's just fed up with everything going on. Now, that's where I felt like this all kind of stemmed from, and I feel like, people were thinking about this. And then not too long after that, Adams missed the last game. I think that was the first game that we missed Davante Adams in due to a hamstring. But yesterday, a lot of things went on. Media ran with it. Antonio Pierce, for some reason, liked a cryptic post on Davante Adams most likely playing his last snap as a Las Vegas Raider. Of course, that got shown. Somebody seen it. They screenshotted it, posted it, and it was just all over social media. Everybody ran with it. And my initial thought after seeing that was like, AP, why are you liking these posts, man? What's the point of doing that? A lot of people follow you. And especially after what happened these past couple of weeks and, Davante Adams missing the game and you liking that, it wasn't a good look at all. There's some fans that think that, AP was just trolling, but I don't think he was trolling at all. AP is not one guy to just troll and just fuck around like that, especially if he hasn't talked to his players about that. And especially knowing that that was one of your star players, who knows what he might have felt. So for the past 24 hours, I'm pretty sure Davante Adams got blown up about this and was asked about this. And then this morning on the Up and Adams show with Davante Adams, Davante was asked on this situation, and of course Davante said that yes, he's seen it, he don't even know what that was about. And on top of that, AP didn't even reach out to him to talk to him about it or anything to say, hey, that was a mistake or whatnot, that was an accident, even though that's kind of BS. He didn't reach out to him or talk to him, especially the leader, one of the leaders on your team, and being the leader of the team in AP. It's really surprising that he didn't even contact Davante about that, but a lot of other people contacted him about it. But this is what Davante had to say about this whole situation. I'm gonna play the clip right here.
So this big story happens where they think your coach, or your coach did, I actually don't know, likes this post about you getting traded. When you heard of that, I guess my first question is, how soon did you hear from Coach?
Yeah, I haven't heard from him. I haven't talked to him. So I haven't. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what that was about. Obviously, I got, social media is a beast. So it's a lot of people out there that saw it and wondering what's going on and people reaching out. And I haven't spoke to him.
I'm surprised by that. Well, I would think you work together every day. So if that, I would say, right. oh shoot, I accidentally hit that. I unliked it. Now it's this huge story. Is that just kind of like what the dynamic is? That's not something that you want to hear from him?
Honestly, it's hard to comment on. Okay. I'm sure you would imagine as such, but it's one of those situations where I just keep my head down and keep doing my thing and let the chips fall where they may as it pertains to that. But I haven't. There's been no communication with anybody from the team since that became a thing. But, it's kind of just like the weekly what's up with Tay thing. It's always some sort of drama. But at the end of the day, 1-7 doesn't create any of it. So people can say what they want, but I'm just chilling, trying to be the model not stirring the pot and just locking in and doing what I got to do.
Now, watching that, I could definitely see the frustration in Davante's eyes. I know he's not really saying much, but I know he's really disappointed in this whole situation. I know Davante has came out multiple times and said that he doesn't want to go anywhere else, whether it's cap or not. He says that he wants to be a Raider, stay a Raider, and just probably play the rest of his career over here. I feel like he doesn't want to, especially if we're not going to address a lot of other positions, but I'm going to get to that in just a little bit. But seeing this, it really does suck for Davante Adams. And it sucks for us Raider fans because we have a lot of hope for Davante to come out and be that number one wide receiver, to be the guy that we all know that he can be. Now, these past couple of weeks, this year, he hasn't really been himself. He's had some solid games here and there, but for the most part, we just haven't been utilizing him a lot more than we should. Whether that's quarterback play, whether that's play calling, whether that's the head coach, Adams just has not seemed like himself. And just to see and hear that the coach didn't really reach out to him after that, there's a lot of signs that, could be adding up. And I feel like 1 + 1 = 2, and we could possibly honestly be seeing Davante in the silver and black for the last time. He was also asked if he was going to play this week against the Broncos, and he said that he wasn't even sure about that either. So with all that being said, I know that there was a lot of trade destinations going around, a lot of possible destinations for Davante to go around, and one team that has been talked about over and over and over again, obviously, is the New York Jets. The New York Jets has Aaron Rodgers over there, and of course, Rodgers and Davante have talked about playing with each other multiple times. So I think that's the number one place that a lot of people are all obviously going to speculate Davante Adams going to or getting traded to. And I guess I wouldn't mind that. I would just wonder what we would get in return. I would love to see Garrett Wilson come over here. If we could swap Davante Adams for Garrett Wilson, I feel like that would be a good trade. Maybe some picks here and there. I don't know if that would actually happen. I know that Wilson and Rodgers hasn't really built that rapport just yet, but Adams does have that rapport with Aaron Rodgers. I've also heard rumors going around the Pittsburgh Steelers might be interested. Now, one other team that has been talked about a lot other than the New York Jets has been the Kansas City Chiefs, and hell to the no, that better not happen. Now, I know that the Kansas City Chiefs do need a number one wide receiver, especially with Rashee Rice out for the rest of the season, Hollywood Brown out too, but hell no. I doubt even the Raiders would even make that deal. But whoever it may be, I hope the Raiders get something back in return that's, at least solid. I know that I feel like the most that we could get is a second-round pick, but you never know if we could possibly get a first-round pick out of this, depending on how needy a team would want Davante Adams. Now, overall, if the Raiders were to make this move, of course, this would be a business decision and what's best for the Raiders moving forward. I feel like the timeline that the Raiders have right now, I don't think Davante fits that timeline. And one of those main reasons is because we haven't went out and addressed the quarterback. Now, I know that Davante Adams came over here in hopes to play with Derek Carr, and they only played one season. Josh McDaniels made the decision to move on from him, but we didn't move on from him and upgraded. We didn't even get no other quarterback. Of course, Jimmy G came over here with hopes of him doing something over here, and he just wasn't it. And then, of course, this offseason, AP had a chance to go and find a quarterback for the future, and we didn't address that either. And that's one frustrating thing that I would say about this regime, and even the last regime, is the fact that we didn't upgrade at the quarterback position. We didn't go all in. Last year, we could have went out and got Aaron Rodgers and just went all in for that. That didn't happen. Or we could have went all in and moved up and got a CJ Stroud. And then also this draft class, AP didn't do everything that he could to move up and get his guy in Jaden Daniels. So I wouldn't really blame Davante Adams if we were to trade him away. I just feel like the Raiders failed him in that aspect. And then you add on that he's getting up there in age. He's not the same wide receiver he once was. Not saying that he's bad. I think that he's still a top 5, maybe a top 3 wide receiver in the league right now. But if you look in the future, he's going to be paid pretty hefty the next 2 seasons. And I don't think the Raiders need to be paying him that much, especially if, we don't really need him. And then you look at this last game against the Browns, I feel like the Raiders offense did better without Davante Adams. Like I said, I'm not trying to put anything against Adams, but I feel like for a player like Gardner Minshew, he didn't have to force feed the ball to a Davante Adams if he was out there. He just found the open receiver and made plays here and there. Now, I wouldn't say that, Jacoby Myers is better fit as a wide receiver 1, but I feel like overall our offense would be okay. So if Tom Telesco and AP really want to do what's best for the Raiders moving forward, I think it might be time to move on from Davante Adams. And I feel like that time might come sooner than later. And hopefully we could get as much as we can for him, because I know we traded away a first and second round pick for him. So hopefully we could get somewhere of a second and maybe third. I don't know what we could get for him, but if we could get something that could help out for the future, then I think that'd be solid. But Raider Nation, I want to ask you guys about this. I know we're tired of hearing all these rumors and stuff like that, and I'm not one guy that likes to come out with rumors anymore. You know, I just want to talk about what's going on with the team right now, and this is obviously what's going on today, and it's the hot news. So I thought I'd give you guys my thoughts and my 2 cents about this. But let me know what you guys think. Do you feel like it's time to move on from Davante Adams? And if so, who would you trade him to and what for? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Of course, until the next one, this is your boy Simone Raider and your boys. Yeah.